Dinosaurs. Not content with letting a little mass extinction keep them down, Dinosaurs staged a massive coup on childhoods in the late 80s and early 90s. They staked their claim in every medium imaginable, and we loved it. The invasion started slowly, with trading cards both goofy and gory. Then, an onslaught of cartoons followed. Seemingly innocuous shows and movies, like Denver, the Last Dinosaur, and The Land Before Time, enraptured us, while action shows like Dino Riders led the assault on our parents' wallets.
The Rulons! They're about to attack!
The deployment of Dinosaurs to primetime refined this approach by employing both tactics within a single series. Resistance truly became futile, however, when the savvy Saurians started aiming for preschoolers. The campaign of Barney and his friends would continue well into the next millennium, impervious to the parodic retorts seeking to halt its advance.
I is for imagine, M is for me, A is for the letter A, G is for G. I is for imagine, N is for nice, E is for egad, I said imagine twice.
Great song.
Success would have been irrelevant, though. Ultimately, the release of Jurassic Park sealed humanity's fate well before Barney's retirement. It was in this epic that the beloved video game maker Nintendo would unveil its own amazing dinosaur creation, Yoshi. My first memories of Yoshi are tied into my hype for Super Mario World. Mario with a cape, giant bullet bills. Nah, this is what I was all about right here. I remember excitedly telling classmates about how Mario could soon ride a dinosaur that can eat enemies and spit fireballs, and when he eats shells, he gets power-ups that are, but there's colored Yoshis that have the powers all the time. Yeah, I was pretty stoked. Good thing the game kicked butt. Yoshi's appeal in Super Mario World goes beyond simply being a dinosaur. He makes you feel powerful thanks to the many advantages he offers. Enemy eating, hazard resistance, extra power-up access. Yoshi basically turns Super Mario World into a whole other game with a whole new set of rules. While his gameplay strengths work on your brain, his expressiveness works on your heart. From that box art smirk to the smile on his sprite to his yelp when he gets hit. Yoshi's not just another dinosaur. He's your dinosaur, and he's your friend, and don't you even think about it, you monster! Given the impact that Yoshi made on me in Mario World, I was of course excited to see how he'd fare in the cartoon which released soon afterwards. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 was a massive improvement over its predecessor, so certainly the Mario World cartoon would be even more awesome thanks to Yoshi, right?
Stop that! Yoshi, do you have to eat everything?
No, I leave some for you. Oh, Chuckumba! Yoshi fall.
What? Give it here, you ravenous reptile!
Ow! Coco Boo Boo!
Babies! They're babies!
For whatever reason, Deke decided to have Yoshi act like a silly little baby. He talks like he's 3, sounds like he's about to break into tears at any minute, and fears pretty much everything. I know that Yoshi is afraid of castles and ghost houses in the game, but this?
Oh, Cucumba! Mama Fire Plant lives on the other side of the river, and I'm scared of water!
This is ridiculous. He's also infuriatingly dumb, and that's saying something since the show also features a bunch of smart-as-rocks cave people.
Yoshi leave mark on society!
Oh, Yoshi love paint!
No, eat! Paint wall!
Oh, Gok. Okay, I'm ready to order. 4 coconut shakes, 6 orders papaya fries, 8 egg scoopa koopas. I forgot money.
We must get her back, Mario. It's too cold. She'll die in Iceland.
Oh, does ice mean there's water?
No, Yoshi. Ice is frozen water. It's solid.
It's a dang shame, since seeing Super Mario World enemies and power-ups in action is otherwise great. This cartoon didn't do Yoshi justice, but it didn't dent his popularity either. Yoshi's next major appearance would be in his very own game, named Well, what else? Yoshi. Unfortunately, about as much thought went into the game itself as its title. Yoshi is an abysmally simple puzzle game. Switch columns and match enemies to clear them. Yoshi himself only comes into play via sandwiching stacks of enemies between halves of eggs. That mechanic adds the risk versus reward that games in this genre need to succeed, but it's not enough to make Yoshi as thrilling as Tetris or even Dr. Mario. Despite the mediocrity of Yoshi the game, Yoshi the character would receive yet another puzzle game, Yoshi's Cookie. Thankfully, it's much more interesting. Instead of matching enemies, players must create lines of cookies. Shifting rows and columns allows for finer playfield manipulation than swapping stacks in Yoshi. This mechanical setup also allows the SNES version to feature a puzzle mode in which players must clear a set of cookies within a limited number of moves. I remember being surprised the first time I played this mode because it was the first time I ever saw a puzzle game contain actual puzzles. Yoshi's Cookie also includes an intense versus mode, in which players race to clear a certain number of cookie lines. Each line awards a Yoshi cookie, and clearing a line of them launches attacks. It's pretty sweet, and it infuses more personality into the game by including selectable characters. Unlike the last game, Yoshi's Yoshiness doesn't really factor into Yoshi's Cookie's gameplay, but all of its little touches add up to make it much more representative of what makes Yoshi charming. And then the movie happened.
They must rescue the princess.
Mama Luigi! Mama Luigi!
I first saw this Yoshi in a magazine preview for the Mario Bros. Movie. I think I even used that preview as part of a class presentation, though I'm not sure why. Maybe I thought the animatronics were neat? Looking at this Yoshi now, I can imagine myself thinking that.
Go ahead and say it. Dinosaur.
He's certainly adorable with his big eyes and cute noises, but he's not cool like Mario World Yoshi. Heck, he's even more of a baby than cartoon Yoshi. In a way, movie Yoshi's weird cuteness portended the tack Nintendo would take with Yoshi from there on out. After the rail shooter detour Yoshi Safari, Yoshi would finally become the character we know today in the peerless classic Yoshi's Island. This game marks Yoshi's transformation from fad to star. Sure, he headlined games before, but Yoshi's Island finally gave him an active role and an identity apart from Mario World. This Yoshi exhibits a perfect ratio of cuteness to coolness, one different from Kirby's, but effective nonetheless. He's infectiously plucky, thanks to the snappiness and weight of his animations. I can't help but feel a little more willing to take on the world when I watch Yoshi stomp and sway in place. Meanwhile, egg tossing and butt stomping give him an aggro edge that reminds players he's in charge this time. And of course, the distinct art style and enemy designs seal the deal. The definitive impact of Yoshi's Island elevated Yoshi's status in Nintendo's stable. Gone were the days of simply throwing his name in titles just to sell random games. Now the phrase, Yoshi game, carried a certain expectation. The follow-up to Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Story, didn't quite meet that expectation for players, but that obviously wouldn't stifle Nintendo's new approach to Yoshi. This shift happened just in time too, since Dinomania largely subsided by the end of the 90s. Had Yoshi remained just another rad dinosaur, he probably would have gone extinct ages ago. Thankfully for us though, he isn't just a dinosaur. He's...
Yoshi!